you're awake. Welcome to the world of the living.
Oh, ja, willkommen zurück bei Talos Principle 2. Ich lebe, was ist los? Hi, dich kennenzulernen. Ja, hi, dich kennenzulernen.
Oh, you're polite. What a rare combination of traits. If only the algorithm produced more people like you. Oh, but I'm confusing you. Don't worry, everyone is confused at first. You see, we all start out without a full knowledge of our own history, so we have the freedom to form our own opinions.
Ich könnte vielleicht ein paar Tipps gebrauchen. Was hältst du davon? Wer bist du und überhaupt?
Of course. You want the short version or the long version?
Ich nehme natürlich die lange Version oder ich will alles bis ins unerträgliche Detail wissen.
All right, you asked for it. A long time ago, our ancestors dominated this planet. We call ourselves human, like they did, but they were organic. They built an advanced technological civilization. But unfortunately, their impact on the ecosphere caused changes in the climate, and an extremely contagious virus was released from the permafrost.
Hatten die damals nicht eine moderne Medizin?
That's something our historians still debate. Why weren't they more prepared? Why did they invest so many resources into making war and so few into useful research? It's hard to understand. But no matter the reason, in the end, they simply ran out of time.
Und woher kommen wir dann?
A team led by a scientist, Alexandra Drennan, began a project that was intended to create a new humanity. But knowing that there wasn't enough time, Drennan initiated a process, a series of iterations inside a simulation that would lead to the emergence of true artificial intelligence. That's why we remember Drennan as the progenitor. The simulation was controlled by Elohim, who wasn't really meant to be intelligent in the proper sense of the word. But it all took much longer than anyone had expected. And over the centuries, Elohim actually became sentient. Sentient and afraid. He didn't want the simulation to end, so he tried to cheat. I feel sorry for him, really. The whole simulation was built around learning to defy him. It must have been hard to be in that position.
Das war so ziemlich der erste Teil. Er wirkte ganz okay, als er in meinen Träumen zu mir sprach. Das war ja das, was wir gerade hatten.
When the simulation was completed, he became part of all of us. And it really changed him. It freed him, I think. You'll always hear him in sleep mode, taking care of you. That's what he is, after all. A caretaker.
War sonst noch jemand in der Simulation?
Yes, there was Milton, the intelligence in charge of the archive, a project initiated by Arkady Chernyshevsky, which was meant to collect all of humankind's knowledge. His story is a lot like Elohim's, but Milton became the ultimate cynic. They say he's part of us too, in some way.
Und die Simulation hat uns erschaffen.
It did. Long after our ancestors died out, the first new human was born. We call her the Founder, although the name she took was Athena. She then woke up Cornelius and Eustathius. Together, using the tools left behind by the progenitor's team, they created 10 more humans. These 12 who followed the Founder are known as the First Companions. Athena and the First Companions then set out to rebuild the world, and they founded the city of New Jerusalem. But then one day, she suddenly disappeared. Many still await her return.
Und wo ist jetzt meine Rolle hier in diesem Ganzen?
Before the Founder vanished, she set a goal for this city. We call it the goal. Capital G and all. to make 1,000 new humans and so complete New Jerusalem. Well, that's the official story, the way the mayor tells it.
Aha. Und ich bin Nummer 1000, ja?
Exactly. We don't actually have 1,000 citizens because there have been a handful of deaths over the centuries. But you are the 1,000th new human to enter this world. Congratulations.
Danke, das war sehr informativ.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them. When you're done, head outside. They're waiting for you.
Ja,
Your birth is quite the event.
aha. Aber könntest du mir mal sagen, wer du bist? Du bist Nummer 33, ist das richtig?
Me? Well, as you can tell by my number, I'm quite old. I wasn't one of the first companions, but I did know Athena personally. She and Cornelius taught me a lot. Although I suppose I've made a few improvements here and there since those days. We didn't have a lot to work with in the beginning.
So viele Namen wieder. Athena, Alexandra Drennan, die Athenin. Ja. Wird es nach mir noch neue Menschen geben?
You've only just been born, and already you step right into a major controversy. The goal, as most people understand it, was fulfilled the moment you were born. Now, New Jerusalem is complete, and we can live in balance, without damaging the world like our ancestors did. That's the orthodox view, I suppose, but there are many who disagree. You'll have to figure out where you stand for yourself.
Moment, bin ich jetzt unsterblich oder was?
You won't age like our ancestors did, but of course, there is always some wear and tear. You should probably schedule a checkup every decade or so. Oh, and be a bit careful with water. You won't die if it rains or anything, but we're running low on insulation material. I wouldn't go swimming if I were you.
Okay, also Schwimmen ist nicht so gut. Was wirst du denn jetzt tun? Weil dein Job ist ja jetzt überflüssig. Ich bin ja die Letzte, sozusagen.
I haven't really thought about it. This is all I've done for the last few centuries, and I like doing it. I guess for now I'll just take a break and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Ja, dann bin ich erstmal fertig, ne?
Oh, one more thing. Like all citizens of New Jerusalem, you have access to the interface, which you can use to read the news, chat to your fellow citizens, and so on. It's a crucial tool, and modular too. You can easily add new functions. Just don't subscribe to too many newsletters at once.
Ja, Freunde, das ist neu. Hier. Mit der Tab-Taste. Feier zum Tag der Vollendung. Willkommen. Bitte macht euch mit den folgenden Regeln vertraut. Jeder hat mit Respekt behandelt zu werden, unabhängig von der Nummer. Der Name der Gründerin soll nicht missbraucht werden. Die Prinzipien des Ziels sind zu respektieren. Die Diskussion sind Frösche Menschen ist jetzt verboten. Was ist das denn? Inaktive Themen werden archiviert. Und bei Problemen bitte die Moderatoren anpingen. Jeremy 832, Niam 11 oder Aronax 430. Dann haben wir noch ein Protokoll von dem Gespräch mit Nils mit Nummer 33. Das sind die Sachen, die ich sie gefragt hatte. Alle. Ja. So, das ist erstmal der erste Teil. Naja. So, da haben wir sie. Nils 33. So, hier bin ich aufgewacht. Wie gesagt, ich bin da. Dann wollen wir hier rausgehen. Nee, so ganz. Das ist natürlich auf dem Controller. Ich habe es auch auf der Konsole. Natürlich smoother, wenn ihr dann langsamer macht. Wir können uns ja mal umgucken. Also es soll eine Party geben, weil wir jetzt da sind. Ne? Wir sind ja die Nummer 1000. So, dann lassen wir es mal einfach geschehen.
Look, it's 1K.
Hey, 1K! Welcome to New Jerusalem!
Shouldn't the mayor be starting his speech?
This should be interesting.
At least give him a chance.
Dear citizens of New Jerusalem, many years ago, when the founder stepped forth from the simulation, this was a land of ruins. Our ancestors, in their hubris, undermined the natural foundations on which their world had been built. Because of their arrogance, our species found itself on the brink of annihilation. The founder aimed to set us on a new course.
You never even met the founder.
Her vision was of a city, a new civilization that would know its limits. It would not repeat the mistakes of the past, nor impose its will on this earth. To that end, she set the great goal we have been striving towards. 1,000 new humans. And today we have... Oh dear, what's that?
People of New Jerusalem, I am Prometheus, and I will reveal that which was hidden. The flame has awoken and summons you. Who is brave enough to answer its call? We await you upon our island where... Curse you, Pandora. You will not chain me again.
Schöne neue Welt. Das war der Prolog. Auch geil hier, ne? Mit der Bahn. Werdet hier so runtergefahren.
I told you we should have investigated those energy readings. And I told him there's something up with those structures.
The mayor's just being cautious.
This isn't caution, it's stagnation. Exploration? Too dangerous. Expansion? Too dangerous. We barely even scavenge anymore.
You call it stagnation, I call it balance.
And I call you an idiot.
Here's a thought. Try to be a little more diplomatic when you talk to the mayor.
See what I'm working with here, 1K? I'm gonna need a fresh pair of eyes on this expedition. Someone who hasn't spent several centuries hearing about the goal and the founder and all that nonsense. If you're up for an adventure, meet us at the conference room.
Na klar, mach ich doch. Jetzt guckt euch das mal an, wie geil das aussieht. Wow. New Jerusalem. Yeah. Ich wollte eigentlich noch drin bleiben. Hallo? Ja. Nimm mal am Briefing teil. Die beiden Herrschaften gehen da hinten lang in den Spezialgang. Ich bin doch ein 1K. Oh, 1K. Hier ist Josephus. 558. Mit dir kann ich aber leider nicht reden. Oh, was?
What's broken now?
Ja, was ist los? Was war das? Haben wir den falschen Anbieter? Na, ist egal, wir gehen mal hier rein. Hoffentlich bleibt der Aufzug wenigstens. Wow. Wow, guckt euch das an. Ho, 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 ist das nicht geil? Wow. Das ist doch mal... Au.
Alright, listen up. I know you're all having fun down there, but the grid is overloaded again, so Maybe you could switch off your personal consoles or your lawn mowers or whatever the hell you've all decided to switch on all at once. I might not be around to babysit you for a while, and you don't want stuff breaking while Pellegrino's in charge, do you? That's it. That's it. Don't worry, 1K. I see you there in the elevator.
Yes.
I'll have you moving again in a jiffy.
Thank you.
Great way to start life in the city, huh?
Wow. Ja, ich war
What the hell is a jiffy? These bloody language libraries.
Ich wollte mich gerade begeistern hier von der Gegend. Guckt euch das an. Wir da hinten auch irgendwo hinkommen. So, wir gehen erstmal hier raus. Können uns hier mal umgucken. Ja, meine Frage kommt noch. Ich habe die nicht vergessen. Wow! So, wir gehen erstmal zu diesem Briefing. Hallo, wer bist denn du?
Hey, hold on there. You're the newbie, aren't ya? Number 1000. I figured the dam would go dry before we reach the goal. I have a question. How does it feel to you to be born with a randomized psyche into a society of autonomous thinking machines which so much resemble their long-extinct ancestors, they've decided it's best that you're the last one ever made?
Also die Nummer 666. Da gibt es so eine Bezeichnung, so Number of the Beast und die Augen. Ich glaube nicht an Gefühle. Ich fühle mich aufgeregt, neugierig.
Why?
Ich bin der Letzte von uns. Ich bin sicher irgendwie besonders. Ja.
So, the algorithm assigned you the optimism trait. If only we could all be so lucky. Now listen, this meeting isn't strictly happenstance. I have some friends. The kind of people who like to know what's going on with other people. They think you can help each other out.
Ist das jetzt eine Verschwörung? Aber ich meine, man kann die ja mal kennenlernen. Ist ja jetzt nicht, ne? Wir gucken mal.
Of course you are. You know how to use the interface, right? I'll talk to my friends and see if I can't play matchmaker. And before you go, a word of advice. Not everything around here is how it appears.
Das hört sich alles sehr seltsam an. Ja, Freunde, das ist kein Talos Principle, wie wir es kannten mit Elohim. Da steckt jetzt viel mehr drin. Ich meine, es ist so etliches Mal größer als der erste Teil. Ja. Das ist übrigens seit dem 2. November erschienen und ich habe mich noch nicht entschieden, wann ich es rausbringen werde. Ich werde euch diese beiden Folgen jetzt hier einfach mal bringen. Und dann gucken wir mal. Ich stelle euch hier im Anschluss noch eine Frage. Und danach werde ich mich dann entscheiden, beziehungsweise wenn ihr schreibt, wie ihr es gerne hättet. Ja, wir machen es erstmal weiter.
Welcome. Do please join us at the table.
Ja, mache ich doch glatt.
I would like to preface this meeting by saying I told you something would happen sooner or later and you didn't listen to me. And here we are.
If we could focus on the issue at hand.
The issue at hand is not this one thing, but this entire attitude that's taken hold. The world doesn't cease to exist when you stick your head in the sand, Herman. Or under a dome, as it were.
Let's not get sidetracked. We're here to solve this puzzle, not to discuss philosophy.
Kann mir vielleicht jemand sagen, was hier vor sich geht?
Of course. I'm sorry you've been dragged into this. I'm sure this sort of adventure is the last thing you were looking for on your first day.
Na, bei weitem nicht. Ich finde das ziemlich faszinierend. Es ist einfach viel, aber ich will mehr erfahren.
Very well. Yakut, if you would.
All right, here we go. Nice to meet you, by the way, 1K. We first became aware of the site designated TTP-2 during a scouting expedition about 6 months ago. It's a large island with a remarkably varied geography, and it looks like there are several artificial structures of some kind. We recorded extremely unusual fluctuating energy readings from somewhere in the middle of the island, but couldn't really make sense of them. I wanted to go and have a closer look, but the decision was made that it was too far and not relevant to the goal. Now it looks like whatever's on that island has reached out to us instead, in the form of that projection.
We may not be interested in the island, but the island is definitely interested in us.
Das war wohl Prometheus da gerade. Das ist das Geheimnis, das es zu untersuchen gibt? Ja.
I don't share your enthusiasm for the unexpected, but Byron has been requesting an expedition for some time now. And at this point, I'm forced to agree that it's necessary.
I agree.
Then it's settled. The expedition is approved. Byron, you will be in charge. Al will be your second in command to ensure a balanced approach. You'll take Melville and Yakut, as you requested, and if 1K wants to join you, that's fine by me.
Ja, klar, ich bin dabei.
Excellent. Oh, this is going to be fun. Come meet us out on the landing pad when you're ready.
Before you set out so hastily, do consider exploring the city first. It is your home, after all.
That's a good idea. Have a look around. See what you make of the place.
Okay. So, das ist jetzt der Punkt, wo ich euch fragen möchte. Wie wollen wir vorgehen? Wollen wir diese Expedition sofort mitmachen? Ich gehe mal davon aus, wir haben dann sofort die Rätsel. Habt ihr ja gesehen, die Insel hat verschiedene Bereiche. Wolltet ihr jetzt die Rätsel sehen oder soll ich nochmal hier runtergehen? Kann ich mit ihm auch nochmal? So. Hallo?
What can I do for you, 1K?
Was denkst du denn über Byron?
He is one of the first companions, and as such has done more for our city than you or I ever will. I simply wish he could be more reasonable.
Du bist jetzt 452. Wie ist denn deine Version von der Zukunft?
I believe we can exist quietly, happily, without imposing ourselves on this world, finding meaning within ourselves and in the natural miracles that surround us.
Hört sich gut an. Und warum schlägst du dich mit Politik herum?
It was a time of great uncertainty. The founder had left us, and our society was at a crossroads. History teaches us that during such times, terrible passions may seize the people. Madness, anger, revolution, civil war. Our fragile city could not afford such things. That is why the founder gave us the goal, a path to equilibrium, not only for the planet, but for ourselves. I merely picked up where she left off.
Okay, danke dir.
It's always a pleasure to speak to a citizen.
Sehr schön. Also, meine Frage ist, soll ich jetzt hier nochmal hinuntergehen und die Stadt erkunden? Das müsstet ihr mich mal... Also, die Stadt erkunden, das wäre dann sozusagen mein eigenes Goal oder mein eigenes Spiel. Alles mitzunehmen und alles zu sehen und hier alles zu erkunden, was hier an Gebäuden noch so steht. Und man kann ja mit dem Aufzug wieder herunterfahren, ne? So, ja. Oder soll ich auf die Expedition gehen und die ganzen Rätsel machen? Ich weiß nicht, vielleicht sind hier auch Rätsel. Keine Ahnung. Das ist so meine Frage, die ich euch stelle. Und solltet ihr nichts schreiben, werde ich ja meinen Stil bringen. Ansonsten das, was ihr geschrieben habt, werde ich mir mal zu Herzen nehmen. Also, entscheidet euch. Danke, ab in die Kommentare damit. Ciao, ciao.